Peril beneath the sand. The sunlight stretched into a burning golden net, pressing the atmosphere on Sertal's surface into a layer of heat as thick as kiln-fired glass. Darius Hale felt every breath pull in the scent of scorched metal. He adjusted the old thermal stabilizer, the only thing still functioning after the crash, and kept moving, leaving behind dry, brittle, unusually deep footprints in the red sand. The vast plain ahead stretched endlessly, nothing but the rippling waves of sand and drifting sulfur dust. Far beyond, the horizon looked veiled by a fogged pane of heat storm. He didn't know how long he had been walking. His wristwatch was broken, the locator charred black. Suddenly, a sound, very faint, sliding across from the left, like sand spilling from somewhere high above. Darius froze, his hand instantly resting on the energy pistol at his hip. He turned his head slowly. Nothing, only the shadows of jagged rocks scattered like dry bones. A gust of hot wind swept across the ground, rolling sand into layers. In that brief moment, he spotted a flicker of movement in the distance, a dark, long, ridged shape, moving with a rhythmic crawl along the horizon line. "Wait! Wait!" he whispered, barely hearing himself. He narrowed his eyes and activated the visor's brightness enhancement. His vision stretched forward as if lifted to a higher plane, and then he saw it, a faint purple glow burning along the creature's back, something that, according to SEU records, belonged to only one known species. Gorvax. The 3-meter beast with silicon-hardened skin, tougher than cold steel, native to the crystalline forests of the north. But why was one here? Why heading this way? No, it wasn't just moving, it was hunting, and he had just fallen within its scent range. Darius held his breath for a few seconds. He pressed himself down, trying to shrink behind a small rock in a way that felt ridiculous. In his mind flashed the burning image of the Ark-12, the ship plunging like a drifting ember from the sky, and the entire crew, now nothing more than shadows. Now on this planet, only one question remained for him. How long could he survive? A soft tap sounded on the rock behind him. Darius jolted, whipping around, but again, nothing. No sign of a creature, no breathing, no unusual heat. Only the black stone surface, dark as a mirror. A shiver ran along his spine. That sound hadn't come from the Gorvax. The tone was too neat, too precise, like someone placing an object down, like a footstep, but far too light for any native beast. Darius blinked. In that instant, he realized what chilled him more than the noise. His footprints behind him were gone, erased completely, smooth and clean as if they had never existed. Not wind, not shifting sand, but intentional. "Someone?" he called out, though he knew he shouldn't. No answer, only the faint metallic rasp of something brushing against itself, coming from atop the rocky ridge. A subtle movement, almost invisible. A primal instinct flared. He wasn't being followed by a beast, not a native creature. Something else, something standing just outside his field of vision. Darius tightened his grip on the gun. His heartbeat hammered, each second stretching like a rope tightening around his neck. Not far away, the heavy running steps of the Gorvax pounded closer, the ground trembling with each impact. The beast was approaching faster than expected, its focus locked onto the rock where Darius hid. But what terrified him wasn't the Gorvax. It was the sense that another figure was somewhere above, silently watching him being hunted, unconcerned whether he lived or died, only curious about how he would react. A test, an evaluation. Darius slowly backed toward the narrow crevice between two rocks, keeping his body as low as possible. The smells of sulfur, hot sand, and faint burnt plastic from his EVA suit mixed into something sharp in his throat. A deep roar. Gorvax was close now. Beneath the sand, the red-pink crystal plates on its back flared brightly, turning it into a walking furnace. Heat blasted through the rock, stinging his skin even through protective gear. Darius inhaled sharply, raising his gun, though he knew the SEU energy pistol could barely scratch the creature's silicon armor. But he had no other choice. A small click snapped in the air, not from him, not from the Gorvax. It was the sound of technology, something opening, activating, a low, short, decisive tone. Darius turned instinctively, and for the first time he saw it. No clear shape, just a warped shimmer in the air, like disturbed water. It stood at the cliff's edge, tall, motionless, as if choosing the moment to leap down. A metallic mask glinted for a split second in the blazing sun, then vanished, the optical camouflage sliding back over it, leaving only the faintest outline. Darius clenched his weapon. He knew exactly what it was, or rather, exactly who it was. A Yautja, a hunter. The Gorvax bellowed and charged. Sand and rock exploded. Darius spun, pulling the trigger. A streak of blue light ripped across the air, and somewhere above, the unseen figure tilted its head slightly, evaluating whether the small, fragile prey below deserved to live or not.